but this is a special one. So, the reason we had you guys all come here tonight, we wanted to talk about the sale of buggy plates for 2026. We've been approached by Amish community. There's two separate proposals that were given to us. We're looking at both of those. One was going to have someone from each church district sell plates for us. I'm not too big a fond of that one, but it's one of the proposals we're looking at. The other one is that they were going to give the county one lump sum fee each year in lieu of buggy plates. So there's two of them on the table for us. On our December 29th meeting, we will be looking at both of those and voting on one of them. So the sale of buggy plates by township trustees next year isn't going to happen. So we're going to go with this one of these two proposals. And one of them is very, very good for the county. I can't say any more about it until we actually get the final document from the organization that's presenting it to us. So I want to have you guys here because I want you guys to hear from us first before it hit the grapevine out there, because I'm sure the Amish are probably going to be talking about it here soon if they're not already talking about it. Because I got a phone call from the sheriff in Noble County saying he heard it down there. So how he heard it, I have no idea. But so it was in the newspaper.
It was in the newspaper.
What was it?
What was it?
What did they say?
What did they say?
This was a while ago.
It was, yeah, it was a couple weeks ago.
Hmm.
But it was based, I think there was a meeting, and you know how we are with our public meetings and broadcasting them. But there was a comment made at a public meeting about taking the buggy plate sales away from trustees.
Not in our meetings.
I don't remember that at all. I mean, we talked about, I think a while back, we talked about proposals and that was it.
As I said, it was in the newspaper.
Yeah.
I can't quote the meeting. I can just say it was in the newspaper. At
Okay.
least a couple weeks ago.
So have you guys here tonight. See if you got any questions or any questions for us, you can ask them and we'll try and answer best we can. But that's kind of where we're at right now.
This should happen. How would you want to transfer our information about who buys what, addresses, we could need any of that stuff? You can keep an Excel file, I can back 8 years.
Well, if you entered it in the system already, it should already be there. You know, I mean, you guys have yours, but it already should be in the system for what you sold this year. So, and at the same time, we're going to adjust the county ordinance because this contract's only going to be for a year. And if it doesn't work, then we'll revert back to the old ordinance and we'll figure out how we're going to do it then. But it's going to be like a year trial here, so we'll see how it goes. But it's.
So what do we tell our neighbors when they start asking? We just tell them that
There's no plates. There's no plate sales.
they're working on something that's going to be new and exciting for them.
Yeah, you can tell them that. I mean, they probably already know about it, but I don't know.
I've asked around my neighbors because when we found out that you were contemplating doing something different,
Mhm.
they wanted to know, well, what does that mean for us?
Look, what it comes down to is they won't have to buy plates. So, that's what it boils down to. They won't be buying buggy plates. So it'll just be a lump sum or the other process. The other one we're going to go with. We haven't discussed it in public meeting yet or anything like that to make our decision, but we have a meeting on the 29th when everything's going to be presented to us, and we'll decide then. But I wanted you guys to get the information soon enough because I know some of you start advertising in January and February about selling plates. So
I'm just gonna throw this out in case you folks don't know this. 3 commissioners cannot speak outside of a public meeting. That's illegal. So when we talk about it up here, we have not discussed it private meeting because that is illegal for us to do that. It's $500 fine just to get started.
I think here, if you're gonna do this, you really have to communicate with that community what you're doing. I mean, with change is hard, and I think it's the common courtesy to send everyone a letter that's filed a plate in the past of how this.
They'll be notified once we make the decision, but it won't be until after that. So the word will get out there pretty quick with them and that, so.
Because the only reason I'm saying that is when the price increase went up, I had several families out our way that didn't know there was any.
Well, you know, the price increase, we've made that public for years. When we did it several years ago, when we put this in place, we gave all the Amish, all the paperwork that it's $200 and every year for 10 years, it's going to go up $10. I mean, they all had that information out there, but I still have buggies out there and carts not putting plates on them. Just about every day at home, I drive back and forth to Shipshewana. I'll see them out there without plates on them, you know, and it's not your guys' job to police them and that, you know, you just sell them and that's it. They got to be honest about coming in and buying the right amount of plates and that, but it's just kind of frustrating when I still see no plates, and majority of the damage to the county roads is done by the horse and buggies. I don't care what anybody else says. It's the horse trolley, 600 West, brand new road. It's already got a groove in it. So county highway is going to have to chip and seal that next year to fix that. So I think this year we're bringing in about 1.7 million is what we brought in from the sale of plates. From now in the 1.7, 1.8, somewhere in there. Yeah. So, but yes,
So are we done as of December 30th?
you will get, if you guys have a contract with us. So once we make that decision on 29th, a letter will be sent out to you all terminating that contract.
As
So-
of February 28th.
February 29th, isn't it?
29th of February? No, he's done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They would
Yeah.
end sales.
Yeah.
2025 sales through February 28th.
Yeah.
Because the new one starts March.
March 1st, yeah.
Because I have, the reason I ask is because I have some on the call today.
Yeah. Yeah, either, it would still continue. It would be for the next sale year, starting March 1. Yeah.
Any other questions? I know there's some of you guys that sold a lot of plates or anything. We appreciate the service you guys done over the years, but when these two options were presented to us, it was just hard for us to not look at them and decide on it. So, like I said, we don't have the final numbers yet. We'll know more by our next commissioner meeting on the 29th is when we'll have all the numbers and figures in front of us. So,
Here's the plates for the buggies and the trailers, assuming it goes back March 1st.
Yes.
yeah, you can just keep them until then in case you sell something prior to that. So, but
I would guess if we change it, none of them will come in and buy anything between now and March.
yeah, I don't know.
I would be surprised if they did, but
I was just surprised that, Noble County, the Amish down there were talking about it. It kind of surprised me when I got the call from the sheriff down there. So, but
You chose the option of the church selling the plates. It would be one church in each.
you have 100 people selling plates. That's why I said that option to me is not very feasible for me to look at, but it's there for us to discuss.
Because that wouldn't be much different than the trustees selling.
It'd be worse, I think, because you got what, 6 or 7 trustees that sell plates now. Then we'd be going to 100 people selling plates. I when I first heard it, I just wasn't a big fan of that one. But like I said, until we have that meeting on the 29th and we get all the facts about both proposals, we can't really say yes or no. So
We'd have a very upset auditor, I can tell you that.
but
I have a question. So the other option would be they would not have plates.
yes, they would not have plates.
Because my husband just told me, he works for
Yep.
the sheriff's department, that there was a fatality recently and that was
Yeah.
the only way
And we've
that they could identify.
Well, we've addressed that in the proposal that they gave us, and we talked about that. So that's something that there's gonna be some kind of identification inside the buggy itself. If they approve that, like I said, we haven't seen the final document yet. that was asked to put in there, so there'd be some kind of documentation in there on that, who owns the buggy. And then, you know, I guess if they wanted to keep the plates on the buggy, they could do that too if they wanted. But we made sure that if this goes through, that there's some kind of identification inside the buggy in the same location on each buggy. But until the 29th gets here, I don't know if they're going to agree to that or not. So, but we're just waiting on the information from them now. Yeah, Bruce.
Just a comment, Jerry, when you guys raised the rates to 200 and plus 10 per year, part of that ordinance also was a huge fine if somebody was caught without plates.
Mm-hmm.
You say you see them all the time. How many arrests? Because I'm still waiting to see a double bubble chasing
Well,
down.
Bruce,
buggies, but-
the thing is that the sheriff's office does not have time to go out there and hunt these up. I talked to the previous sheriff. I've talked to this sheriff. They've been shorthanded ever since those two guys have been in office and that, and they just didn't have the time, the manpower to go out there and do it. They're still short a couple. So for those guys to go out and try and fixate on buggy plates when they got sometimes, you know, one guy or two guys working the road, it just ain't feasible. So that was another driving factor behind it. Yeah, it'd be nice if we could have somebody go out and write tickets, but the towns aren't going to do it. The state police isn't going to do it.
And I understand, because it's my true belief that if you wrote a few tickets, they'd all get placed the next day,
Probably.
you know.
It's hard to enforce. It's just like the horseshoe ordinance when we had that.
Yeah.
When we started that, myself and another officer had to go out and write tickets to horse buggies, shoes. I mean, I was out there picking up hoofs and everything, checking everything. That lasted about 4 weeks. And the outcry on that was something else. But it's tough because back then, you know, we had a couple guys who knew horses. There's no officer down there really that knows anything about horses that is going to go out and want to pick their feet up and look at them and see if they got the correct shoe on them and that. So it's tough, you know. It's, you know, and we're looking at these decisions to make, and it's not easy.
So speaking of that decision, you said this meeting's coming up December 29th.
Yeah.
And it's gonna go through, you just don't know the logistics of it all yet?
We don't know. It's just one of those options are going to probably be presented to us. And I don't know how these guys are going to vote. So, but yeah, it's we're looking at changing.
Well, I just, once again, I'm more concerned, not about me, I'm concerned about my neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
I have a relationship with my neighbors and they ask me what's going on because they've heard that something's going on.
Yeah.
I want to know what to tell them. And
I wish I could tell them more, but you know, the organization that's the group of Amish are putting this together, that they did, until they get everything finalized, they didn't want to say anything. And then I hear the Amish out here talking about it. So, I mean, it's,
So that way, once again, December 29th is when you guys will make your decision.
yeah, but you can either be here or, and there may be, you know, we may, okay, we're not going to do it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what these two guys are thinking, but if you want to come to the meeting on the 29th, or you can watch us live on the 29th.
Well, I will say,
Wait a minute, but if you say no, that means we're back on?
If that happens, yes. I don't know. I don't know what the final proposal looks like yet, Bruce.
We haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it. This is just a courtesy meeting, let you guys know this is what's coming up.
Well, I guess this meeting started, I was under the impression this was gonna happen, but now you're saying it might not happen.
I don't know if it will or not for sure, because I know we're going to make a change that we're planning on doing, but the last minute, maybe they decide they don't want to do it. I don't know.
But
We
if
haven't
they have
seen-
something in the proposal that we don't like or agree with.
Yeah. We haven't seen the final proposals yet. So, yeah, Terry.
You said you collected $1.2 million.
1.7.
1.7.
How do you go, if you take that away from the township selling plates, how do you collect that then? I mean, how do you collect?
That's the one proposal is a one lump sum paid in the spring sometime. I don't know what the date was yet, but it's a one lump sum.
You leave it up to the Amish churches to collect that money, or? each
This organization that's putting this together is the one that's going to pay the county. And they're going to in turn get their money from each church district, or however they do it. It's just like their insurance, you know, each one pays so much in. Just for an example, the town of Shipshewana bought a street sweeper. The Amish sent a letter out to their church districts. They raised $110,000 for the town to buy the street sweeper. So they paid about half of it. So that's how they operate. So my understanding, this is going to operate similar. They're just going to go out to the church districts and they're going to raise the money, whatever they have to do, whatever they feel is the right price. I don't know. Like I said, they still haven't given us a final proposal yet. We're still waiting. The attorney's working with them on that. So until we get it, I don't know exactly what's in it for sure. I can't give you an exact amount, how much they're going to give us yet. So, we debated about even having this and just keeping you guys in the dark until the 29th, but I didn't think that was right. So I just want to let you know now.
You can get the questions we've been trying to answer.
We've been asking for several weeks here now just to figure out, and they do have, I know they have the document and they're going over it now to make sure it's what they want also. And then who knows, it may not be what we want either. I don't know until we see it. We'll see it just prior to the 29th. We'll probably see it at the staff meeting. Then we'll get the vote on the 29th.
But you've seen some kind of draft form
I haven't.
of the proposal.
I'm just going with the attorneys told me. So he wasn't even 100% on that or the figure or anything yet, so so I'm just waiting on that.
It's kind of like Christmas. We hope we get everything we're wanting, but we don't know.
Naughty or nice?
Well, so far nice, but if we don't get what we want, we may end up being naughty to them. I don't know. Well,
It'd be interesting.
no, that's not. No, Bruce, that's not.
Live stream, though.
This is live stream, Bruce, just so you know.
I will say though that if something like this doesn't work, we probably will have to up the plates even more than what we have been.
Yeah.
We can't keep up on the roads. I mean, no matter, it's a drop in the bucket.
We've been talking about this all year about raising the plate. When we put that program in place, we knew in about maybe 3 or 4 years down the road, we'd have to reevaluate it. And we were talking about going to the $300 for next year any way we go. So the money it takes to fix these roads is just, it's a lot.
insane.
And they're putting a lot of, if you notice, they're doing a lot of work with the roads. I mean, they are working on them. And we see a lot of work on the west side of the county because that's where they're the worst. The engineer and the county highway superintendent went out and did a study of all the roads and gave the worst ones the priority. So that's what they're doing. I mean, but just like 600 West, it's a brand new road and you already got a groove in it. And it's just, I don't know how you fix it. I mean, we've used different materials in it. They're going to have, like I said, they're going to have to chip and seal it next year with steel slag just to save the road.
That slide is working.
It is working. It is better. I mean, I do like how it, and with that, it's the same stuff that Elkhart County uses. Because we get calls that saying, well, why are roads like Elkhart County? I'm thinking, well, this county is almost 50% Amish now. So we got about 20,000 head of horses in LaGrange County. We're number 2 in the country for horses in the county or in the state, in the country. So Florida's county, there's one down in Florida. It's number 1. It's a racetrack, but we're number 2 in the country for horses in the county. Elkhart County, their highway department, they got 2 shifts working. They got 1 shift works all night long when the weather's bad. They have more car traffic. It's just a whole new ballgame over there versus what we got here. So
The population is 240,000
Yeah.
versus 2,000. 5 times, so it's.
Aaron, he gets about, from the wheel tax and the gas tax, he makes about $6 million from the state each year. That's what we get towards the roads. And the Amish have been, we've been anywhere between 1.2 to 1.8 million each year we've been getting from them. So it's a big discrepancy there between the two. So we're hoping to bridge that gap some, but we'll see what happens here. Any other questions? like I said, you're more than welcome to be here on the 29th, or you can watch it live stream, whatever you want, whichever you want to do, but it's a couple weeks off, yeah, I think. Yeah. So, but I want to thank you all for coming. I just thought that we ought to give you some information, even though it's not all of it yet, because we don't know all of it yet. All right, thanks.